Hey guys, welcome back to Back Sports, and I'm back with another video. And today is going to be a little different than normal with the football content. Given that the season for football is pretty much almost over, I will be going over Super Bowl stuff and end of the season like activities later. But I really want to start pivoting this channel more towards basketball as well because I really do like the NBA and want to cover more about the NBA as a whole. So if you really like this kind of content, please let me know down in the comments below. And let's just get into this right now. So the title of this video states that I believe there's this one person that they truly believe should win MVP this season. And it may be expected from all of you, it may not be expected from all of you, but the person I'm looking at today is within the top 8 of the Western Conference, and it is none other than Luka Doncic. And why do I think that it's Luka Doncic? Well, the stats pretty much speak for itself, and he's in his 5th season. He's a super talented point guard in this league, and let's look at the stats right now. All right, so 34 points per game is second in the league. 8.6 rebounds per game is 21st, which is kind of surprising for nowadays. Third in the league in assists and 52nd in field goal percentage. So as you can see right here, like in the month of January, like you could see that he's been consistently putting up insane stats. And I think that you may be asking, oh, it's just only January, right? Well, if you look at the previous month in December, same consistent behavior, same activity with rare like games where it's in the teens or even 20 points a game, even like this random game with 19 points. Like you can see how consistent Luka is. I remember every single time like my apps would be like going off saying like, oh, Luka just dropped 40, Luka just dropped 50, Luka just dropped, in this case against Atlanta, 73 points. Like this is insane numbers, and he leads the league right now in points in a game by a player in general. And yeah, right now in terms of their Southwest standings, he's like 26 and 23, and they're on a 2-game losing streak, but we'll get more into that right now. So in terms of his stats, it looks really good. It's honestly one of the best stats I've seen in the league so far in terms of its consistent behavior when it comes to scoring and putting out performances like the 73 points per game, 45, and such. Like he had a stretch where he only scored above 30 points per game within the month of January. And similarly, he had like you rarely ever see him drop below 22 or like 23 or something like that. So let's look at basketball reference and kind of go towards the MVP tracker award. So the reason why I'm not a huge fan of this right now is because I think that they value like what already exists, because Jokic is pretty much having a similar season to what he did back in his previous 2 MVPs. And I agree, Shea deserves to be in the conversation with what he's doing in OKC, given that OKC has such an amazing record. If we can go back to the standings, OKC is number 1 in the West, which is crazy to think. And Timberwolves, and these two are like shocking because OKC is such a young team, and the fact that they're already like the number 1 in the league is wild, in the say the least. And you may say, "Oh, the Mavericks are 8th in the league." But you gotta go back to consistency, and like it may be a little bit hard to say give an option for Doncic because Doncic has been like he's been putting up stats, but it's leading to what, only the 8th seed in the league. But if you look at this things as a whole, look at the teams around Jokic, look at the team around Shea, look at the team around Giannis, and compared to what Luka has. Not saying Luka doesn't have a good team, but compared to Giannis, compared to Shea, compared to Jokic, all 3 of those teams are built from the ground up, meaning that they're like ready to contend. They're ready to be like make a deep playoff push, whether it's in the Western Conference Finals or the second round semifinals. But for Luka's team, and such, it's a little bit of a different scenario because who does he really have? Like Kyrie has been on and off. Like he hasn't like been as consistent as he used to be, and that's his number two option on this team. And then you have like Lively, you have like a bunch of other players as well within the team, but without Luca, this team isn't like the best. Will not perform as best as you think. And looking at the record when they have Luka, you have a 23-18 record with Luka Doncic this season. And if you look at when he doesn't play, I mean let's do real quick. Doesn't play this season. They're 3-5 without Luka. So while it is a small sample size and they still did win 3 games, like those 5 games are pretty important when it comes to the placement that you are in within the Western Conference. And you can see right here, like, the points per game goes dramatically down. Whereas when he plays, let's see, look at the points per game totals. 126, 125, 114, like it's all in the triple digits besides one game or so. Like you were going from triple digits to double digits without Luka Doncic. And at the end of the day, it's important to realize that, yes, there are very successful candidates out there, but you have to also realize that Dallas is like completely reliant on Luka. And the term MVP really states like who is the most valuable for the team as a whole. Shea is very valuable, that's for sure. But if Shea is not available, they could still win with the pieces around him, like Chet Holmgren and a bunch of other players that they're on the team. Giannis, similarly, they have Damian Lillard now. Like they have a bunch of players that are still like from that championship contention like team. Like they have a bunch of options. Jokic, I don't still understand why he's the number one option right now. Yes, he's one of the best players, if not the best players in the league. But that doesn't mean that he should be consistently number one just for that sake. You should look into Doncic being an option, considering how consistent he has been. Like, you tell me that in the month of this, January, he's averaged 37 points per game. In the month of December, he averaged 37 points per game. In the month of November, he averaged 29 points per game, 39 points per game in November, even though it was only 3 games. Like, he's consistently averaging wild stats. And right now he started off this month with a 40 bomb. And, like, will he continue that? If he continues this trend, I don't see a reason why you would not consider him in the MVP conversation, if not the top candidate for MVP conversation, because he's clearly the most important player on the Dallas Mavericks right now. And given how hard it is to be in the Western Conference, like think about it. Russell Westbrook on the Thunder, like they barely were like a team that was like in the top 5 in the league when KD left. Yet he still was able to garner an MVP because why? He put up insane stats and was still successful in leading the Thunder to a playoff spot. And if Luka can manage to do that with the Mavericks and poise themselves to be a top like maybe 6 team or even top 8 in where they currently stand, I don't see a reason why that he should not be MVP. Like it's baffling. And let's see the other awards like Jason Tatum, Domantas Sabonis, Donovan Mitchell, Tyrese Halliburton, Jalen Brunson. Like look at this right here. All right, so you're saying that Doncic has a 6% chance to win MVP when he's averaging the most points per game out of every single one here. Like, does that make any sense? He's in terms of efficiency, like he's relatively efficient for putting up that much points, and he's pretty much a bulk of the points that the Dallas Mavericks score. And yeah, that's pretty much my case for why Doncic deserves to win MVP this season, and kind of well deserves it because he's been like pretty good as a Maverick. And let me know down in the comments below who you think that should win MVP. Whether it's Doncic, who do you think? I'm really interested to hear what you guys have to say. And that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.